up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music, and I've got a really cool thing to talk about that I haven't talked about yet ever on the channel, and that is Nashville tuning. I am actually in Nashville right now, specifically to talk about Nashville tuning. Now, if you heard the guitar, I was playing just some standard chords. But it sounds different, right? We're not hearing any lower pitches. It's all in that mid and high range, and there's a reason. Nashville tuning. Basically what you do, if you've ever messed around with a 12-string guitar before, you will notice that you have the standard strings, but then you also have an octave up on the E string, the A string, the D string, and the G string, and then the B and high E are typically in unison. So if you were to take away the lower strings on a 12-string, you would be left with still a standard tuned guitar, E, A, D, G, B, and E, but now your range is different. So check out what normally is the low E is an octave up. And the same thing with the A, and the same thing with the D, and then listen to this G. Very high, and then a normal B and high E. So listen to the G, B, and high E. Totally a different range. But what's cool is you can play, there's nothing new to learn on the guitar, but it sounds different. For instance, one of the most famous riffs of all time, sounds completely different. It's great for getting out of a rut because I could play blues licks. My standard pentatonic is gonna sound completely different. Check it out. Completely weird, right? It's used a lot in the studio and recording because you can take a regular progression that you play on a standard guitar and then double it up with a Nashville tuning guitar, mix them left and right, pan them, and you get this just amazing shimmer. It's also great for doubling single note lines that you might play on the guitar. But so check this out. If I just play a classic D major chord up here, because of the way those strings are tuned, it just gives you a completely different sound. So that's a D and then a C, and I'm gonna go down to G, and it's completely different sounding. You don't have to learn anything new. It's all about that high G string right there. Now, the other thing that's great is if you have a standard guitar part that's even just the basic open chords, like a G chord, you play it on standard and then you double it with the Nashville tuning, and it gives a whole new dimension to the sound of the guitar. That's a G chord. E minor. A minor, G, you've heard this a lot actually, maybe without realizing it. Keith Richards used this a ton. One of the most famous, and it's a lesson I did pretty recently on Jumping Jack Flash, he had one guitar that was not Nashville tuning, but a second guitar. So if you imagine the lower power of a, lower throaty natural like Telecaster with that. It's also been used by David Gilmour in Pink Floyd, James Taylor. It's endless, really. But Keith Richards on Jumping Jack Flash was one of the first rock tracks to emphasize that. Historically, guitar players would get their guitar into Nashville tuning by taking a 12-string pack like this D'Addario EXL 150. So you've got a regular set of normally tuned strings, but then also those octaves for the 12 string. So what you would do is just take the individual higher octave strings and string your guitar with it. But what's cool about this is that you're also then left with just a standard set of strings as well. So when you buy a 12 string pack, you're actually getting one set for Nashville tuning and one set for a regular guitar. Now, what's really cool is D'Addario actually makes their own Nashville tuning pack, so you don't have to do that or separate them. It just is a normal set, but of course with the octave up on those lower strings. And so this is the EXL 150H, a high strung, also known as Nashville or high strung. Nashville sounds cooler, I think, anyway. So I use this individual pack, but it's just good to know that you can do it with the 12 string set as well. All right, I'm gonna start with some basic shimmer strum kind of chords, D, C add 9 and G, and then we're gonna layer it. And I'm gonna use my looper so you can hear how they sound together. Here we go. All right, now I'm gonna play kind of a pretty single note melody with chords, and then I'm gonna just try and double it with the Nashville tuning. So let's see what we get here. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that video talking about Nashville tuning. I find it to be a great creative outlet when you're feeling like you're in a rut or you're just looking for that right sound and you don't have it. This is a great way to do that. Now, remember, D'Addario has a 12 string pack that you can get, which would provide you with a Nashville tuning set and a regular set of strings, but they also make a specific Nashville tuning set, so you can get that as well. Get creative, dig in, have fun with it. Thanks again for watching, you guys, and hope to see you again real soon. Take care.